Bonanza Creek Ranch has had two people accidentally shot on a movie set by a prop gun.
Well, unfortunately, this incident would be remembered forever in the film industry and others. The death of Halyna Hutchins was tragic, and as a result has left a scar on the minds of people and others related to it. So starting off with the incident, let us look at the case of Halyna Hutchins' death and the possible prevention that could have saved her life. But before we start on the topic, let us remember Halyna Hutchins and her greatness. So, who is a cinematographer? Alright, so to be precise, a cinematographer is a photographer, also known as the director of photography, who is responsible for the camera and lighting team. They are responsible for creating the look, color, lighting, and framing for every shot in the film. Cinematographers can also serve as camera operators in more low-cost productions. Stating facts, cinematographers are the backbone of a movie, and hence Halyna Hutchins was one of them. Halyna Hutchins is a Ukrainian cinematographer and journalist who has participated in the creation of more than 30 films, short films, and TV miniseries, including the films Arch Enemy, Darlin, and Blind Fire. Speaking of Halyna's cinematography career, the woman moved to Los Angeles to focus on film production, playing roles in productions and fashion photography. However, in Los Angeles for the very first time in her life, she met Bob Primes, an exceptional cinematographer. As a result, he is the guy who encouraged Hutchins to apply for the Academy of Music of the American Film Academy, where he was a teacher himself. Therefore, Hutchins got admission to Primes Cinematography School in 2013 and started studying there for a 2-year master program. She graduated in 2015. Well, Primes was the person who encouraged her, but Stefan Lighthill was there to guide her. Whereas counting off her initial achievements, Hutchins' thesis project covered with director Ryan Farzad was screened at Cambridge International Film Festival, AFI Film Festival, and Austin Film Festival. Adding on to that, in 2018, Halyna Hutchins was one of the first 8 female photographers to participate in the Fox DP Lab program, which intended to provide more opportunities for female photographers, and following her participation in 2019, Hutchins was named one of the 10 up-and-coming directors of photography by American Cinematographers. That's an achievement in itself. As a matter of fact, Halyna was the director of photography for Adam Egypt Mortimer's 2020 film Arch Enemy. Besides, her personality and work ethics rewarded her well, and it was very well obvious when Bob Mortimer appreciated her, saying Hutchins' taste and sensitivity in movies is a huge asset in implementing her style, and her AFI training and her skills in LUT setting mathematics provide us with the best he's ever found so far. Moreover, the late Halyna Hutchins was also praised for her work in the movies Darlin 2019, Blind Fire 2020, and The Mad Hatter 2021. But how did the unfortunate event take place, and what precautions would have guarded the huge loss to the film industry? Let me break it down for you and explain to you in detail. Indeed, it was a sad day for the people known to her, and ones who actually witnessed the moment, and many are in sheer shock to date. Besides, the outsiders are shocked, sad, and angry at the tragic death of the 42-year-old photographer Halyna, who was accidentally killed by a prop gun on the set of the Western movie The Rust last week by none other than Alec Baldwin. However, to be precise, as for how this happened, this is still a mystery, and let's try to understand what really happened. Of course, the genuine fact is that it shouldn't have happened. I mean, such incidents should never happen with anyone, anytime in the future. The inability to understand the degree of carelessness and negligence and the complete ignorance of the absolute fail-safe gun safety protocol led to such a catastrophic result that took the life of Hutchins and injured director Joel Souza. Discussing the matter, according to widespread rumors, the Rust studio in Santa Fe, New Mexico, failed to comply with gun safety guidelines, and as a result, several IATSE staff withdrew from the production. To be precise, as per the Los Angeles Times, before the shooting of the series Rust on October 21st, a production manager received a complaint from a cameraman about the safety of the guns on set. That was the actual start of the mess that could have been taken care of. But no, it was neglected. Hence, the neglect by the production manager could be declared as the main reason behind Hutchins' tragic death. As a result, the crew members and the entire set was shocked by the 2 accidental discharges of prop guns. Although the charges have not been filed yet, the Santa Fe authorities are investigating the circumstances surrounding the tragedy, and on the other hand, the legal experts are discussing possible litigation against filmmakers including Baldwin and those responsible for ensuring the safety of prop guns. To be precise, there are 7 production companies for the film, including Baldwin's Eldorado Pictures. Speaking of the producers of the movie, the 6 credited producers on the independent film Rust are Ryan Smith, Alec Baldwin, Nathan Klinger, Ryan Winstein, Matt Del Piano, and Anjul Nigam. The well-recognized producers have collectively had more than 35 years' experience producing small to mid-level film and television projects. Though there were many experienced people associated with the movie, the unfortunate event took place. As a matter of fact, there are still quite a few issues questioning the lack of experience of some of the staff involved in the production. As we have already discussed the neglect by the production manager, let us take a look at other different aspects. Alright, so one of the issues that continue to be troubling is what changes have been speculated to the handling of firearms after the accidental death of actor Brandon Lee, who is the son of 28-year-old martial arts star Bruce Lee. Well, there was a similar fashion when filming The Crow in 1993. To be precise, at the time, OSHA investigators attributed the shooting to 3 violations of industry safety guidelines. Relating it to the incident last week on the late actor's Twitter page, his family reached out to say, "Our hearts go to the family of Halyna Hutchins and to Joel Souza and all involved in the incident on Rust. No one should ever be killed by a gun on a film set." This difficulty roused many people in the industry to implement a strict ban on guns. As a result, award-winning filmmaker Bandra Obali launched a Change.org petition to Baldwin last week calling for a ban on the use of real guns on set and demanding better working conditions for the crew. Recently, this week, there are more than 52,000 signatures. Speaking about the change, he stated in the petition writing, "We need to make sure this avoidable tragedy never happens again. There is no excuse for something like this to happen in the 21st century. Real guns are no longer needed on film production sets." An argument that's being made in light of the visual effects technology now available. Whereas the petition also commands signatories to demand Baldwin to use his power and influence in the Hollywood industry to obtain the change and ban real guns on film sets. Coming back to the reasons, one of the responses that needs attention is low-budget movie sets. Of course, to no surprise, filmmakers, especially those with lower budgets or the excited Hollywood DreamWorks, often start to feel more like a sweatshop. Whereas with the collapse of the business model that has long supported the independent film world, they say that Hutchins' death, coupled with reports of labor tensions and Rust set safety standards, is a byproduct of an increasingly life-threatening morbid system that seeks to shrink profits. Speaking of the safety standards, director Egypt Mortimer revealed a very unobvious statement. He said the predicament we're in makes you think of Upton Sinclair. But on what basis did he say that? Alright, so director Egypt Mortimer is the guy who worked with Hutchins on last year's low-budget sci-fi superhero film Arch Enemy. Adding on, he continued, "There is a continuum from the way that a crew is treated on a project like this to the way people working in warehouses at Amazon are treated. There's this amount of money that's not going to the safety and well-being of the laborers, and their labor is being converted into the product. We can't keep grinding people down." Do you guys agree with him? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. On the other hand, Michael Miller added his opinion too. "The circumstances are not identical, but they are way too familiar," Michael Miller stated. Continuing, he said, "The idea that there isn't time for safety is just wrong. The concept that schedule is more important than safety or that the budget is more important than people is one that simply cannot be allowed to persist. If you're on a set and your crews are telling you that it's not safe, listen to that." Currently, after the death of Hutchins, the problem of mishandling of the guns on the Rust studio has always existed for many legal reasons, and to be precise, the entire focus and attention have been focused on the lack of experience of the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. What do you think? Hannah Gutierrez-Reed is the only person to blame? This was all about it. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like it and subscribe to the channel Peeper. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section.